Welcome to another edition of Token Topics. We're going to dive into some latest XRP news and information that you're not going to want to miss. We're going to see some exciting information of what's going on over in Europe through SENSEI. CBDC technology is making headway. And we're also going to check out some information from the Bank for International Settlements, which is great news for ISO 20022. We're also going to look into Ripple's new licenses and hear words from Stuart Alderati. So we're going to go over these topics and more. Before I begin, remember, I'm not paid for or sponsored by Ripple. Keep your crypto safe with a DCENT biometric hardware wallet. With talks about cyber attacks or exchanges going down, it's imperative to keep your assets safe. And just know with DCENT, your private keys are your private keys and only you have access to them. In the description below, I'm going to put affiliate links where you can receive $30 off the retail price. There's also a 2-wallet package deal that's a great value. There's no need to wait. Order your wallet and keep your crypto safe now. Ripple is in talks with over a dozen governments for CBDC development, and SENSEI, she commented off this post. I recently spoke to Financial News about recent expansion in UK and Europe and UK's opportunity to consolidate its leadership as a fintech hub. Let's dive into this article. All right, this is from Financial News. So the governments, right here, the governments will use Ripple's blockchain-based technology to issue their CBDCs. In May, Ripple launched their dedicated CBDC platform to help central bank governments and financial institutions around the world in the issuance of CBDCs and stablecoins. Central banks are increasingly prioritizing CBDCs amid the growing popularity of blockchain-based digital payments. 19 countries among the G20's cohort are now at an advanced stage of CBDC development, according to U.S.-based think tank Atlantic Council. A lot of discussions with central bank regulators continue. We hope to announce more partnerships soon, Young told Financial News. So CBDC provides a digital version of a country's fiat currency. With CBDC, central banks eliminate the threat of price volatility as their values remained. While most of the global central banks are still at the research stage, countries such as India and China have already launched CBDC pilots with more than 260 million wallets. China's CBDC pilot has remained the most successful project in the CBDC global ecosystem. Ripple had a valuation of $15 billion in 2022 after buying back shares from its Series C funding round. The company, which offers blockchain-based services, has already collaborated with 5 governments. This is extremely bullish for the digital asset space, not crypto. JP Morgan's crypto lead says 99.9% of conversations are about tokenized assets, tokenization. The assets that are talked about on this channel specialize in tokenization, tokenized assets. Now, some people might say they're talking about Project Onyx. It's about interoperability. It's not going to be siloed. All these different networks, especially if they're tokenizing, are going to be harmonizing, communicating, and working together. So the head of JP Morgan's blockchain division, Tyrone Lobban, he stated this actually took place 2 weeks ago. He told attendees at the CC Data's Digital Asset Summit in London that 99.9% of conversations with clients are about tokenized forms of traditional financial instruments, not crypto. There's a huge conversation about how to bring traditional assets on-chain, he said during yesterday's panel. When you look at the activity that has happened over the past year, almost every global bank, broker, dealer, or asset manager is doing something either on permission, blockchain, or public one. So that is very bullish. This has given us a look of what the future holds. So Lobban says that these early experiments might be termed pilots, but the intention is very clear there. On the cryptocurrency side of things, he blamed the recent spate of industry bankruptcies for cooling the interest, and he said that some clients do not necessarily want to be involved right now. But Lobban also commented on Bitcoin's recent price stability, saying the world's favorite cryptocurrency is maybe more like a stablecoin nowadays, before adding the days of massive returns on Bitcoin are possibly behind us for a while. So that gives me the indication is that you're holding the digital assets that are going to help tokenize world assets. Ripple gets full licenses to offer crypto payment solutions in Singapore, and that is excellent news. But when it comes to the United States, Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderati, says rational regulations are far away. Let's check out the CNBC interview.
Behind you saying that Ripple is not a security, and obviously there's been a lot of contention in the United States. Even though you do a lot of business outside, if you could have more reason to do business in the United States, it would be, I would assume, exponentially more great for Ripple. In terms of the legislative environment right now that we are seeing, I suppose the cross activity, you know, no real determination as to what's what. Legislators don't seem to be able to agree, and now all of this coming at a time where we don't even have a Speaker of the House. Do you foresee any kind of clarity coming in any kind of short order for cryptocurrencies, for the likes of Ripple, for anyone within the industry, or is it something that's just going to have to be put on the back burner until perhaps the presidential cycle is complete?
Yeah. So what the sticker says is that XRP is not a security, not that Ripple is not a security. Ripple uses the digital token XRP in its tech stack. Other developers develop on the decentralized XRP ledger blockchain. We own XRP as a digital asset. We own a portion of it, but we don't control it. But to get to your question, outside of the US, in regions like Singapore, in the UK, in the EU, in Dubai, in Brazil, in Australia, in Japan, I can name others. What we have is rational regulatory frameworks that are not looking to push out this innovation, but are looking to say, hey, look, if you want to come into our country and you want to develop this innovation, you can do it, so long as you satisfy our rigorous regulatory regime. In the U.S., unfortunately, we have lost our way. And we've lost our way because we have politics and power being elevated over sound policy, meaning we have certain agencies who are fighting over who is going to get to control, from a regulatory perspective, the technology, rather than satisfy what is the right policy outcome, which I think the licensing framework that we see in it and the Monetary Authority of Singapore pursuing a proper policy outcome through a licensing framework. So right now, unfortunately, in the U.S., the issue of how to label a digital payment token properly, whether you label it as a utility token, a payment token, a security token, that's not left to a regulator and a rational regulatory framework. It's that issue is now being fought in the courts. And Ripple has been on the forefront of that fight with the Securities and Exchange Commission here in the U.S. We have been defending the issue of whether XRP, again, the digital token that we use in our tech stack to enable our customers to benefit from our products, whether that should be classified as a security or it should be classified as a commodity or a virtual currency. We won that issue. We won that issue on July 13th. So hence the sticker XRP is not security, which I think gives XRP clarity in the U.S., and XRP as a digital token is now uniquely classified as a non-security in the U.S. But we don't think, even though we won in the courts, we don't think that these issues should be fought token by token, case by case, judge by judge. We think we need a rational regulatory framework. But to your question, although we have some policymakers in the U.S. trying to take the lead to come up with rational regulatory policy proposals, the chances of anything moving forward in this Congress or the next Congress doesn't seem very, I'm not very optimistic about it.
Right. This is posted by Digital Euro. Since we're on the topic of CBDC, all eyes on Europe right now. And Anthony Welfare of Ripple states, interesting move forward and great to see Eurozone taking a CBDC lead. This is the next step on a long journey, but it's great to see the principles and progress being made. Highlights here. As Europe enters the digital era, a digital euro would be the next step in the evolution of our currency. It would not have the form of a physical coin or banknote, but it would benefit from the most important characteristics of a cash as a public good when paying digitally. So widely accepted and easy to use. Free for basic use. Usable for any digital payment in the euro area. Not requiring an online connection. It could also be used offline, right there, offering the highest possible protection of privacy, including leaving no one behind, settling payments instantly, right there, secure, risk-free, usable for payments at the point of sale, person to person.
A digital single payment solution that could be used for any kind of payment throughout the euro area. Guess what? It could become a reality. A digital euro. Easy, safe, fast, reliable. Digital money from the European Central Bank at your fingertips whenever you need it. But how would it work? Say you've gone for a meal with a friend and you want to split the bill. Simple. Open the digital euro wallet on your smartphone, check your balance, enter the amount to pay your friend, confirm your transfer. Your friend will receive the money instantly, free of charge. It doesn't matter which country you're in or who your payment provider is. Payments are still made instantly, even offline. It's also easy to use the digital euro at your favorite local shops. Unlock your device, place it on the terminal, authenticate, make the payment online or offline. If you want, you can also use a physical card. What about e-commerce? The digital euro is also available when you're buying something online. Be it digital or physical, a euro will always be a euro and have the same value irrespective of format. Let's embrace the digital era with the digital euro.
All right, this is from the Bank for International Settlements. Now, this is talking about the year 2027 and cross-border payments. Now, there's a lot to ISO messaging, the 200.2.2 new messaging standard. It's more than just digital assets. A lot of people tend to get overexcited. But with that being said, digital assets is part of it. But a lot of these financial institutions, especially this November, we don't know how many, if any, are going to be using digital assets. We really don't fully know. I'm not going to rule it completely out, but there's a lot of companies, these financial institutions, that are stating that they're going to be using the message-enriched features, not the digital assets, but they will eventually get to that. So with that being said, it's still an excellent window to wait for and to look for. You know, November on. And check this out. So this is from the Bank for International Settlements. The bank, or the BIS Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, CPMI, has published harmonized ISO 200.2.2 data requirements that establish a consistent minimum set of messaging standards for more efficient processing of cross-border payments. The requirements will facilitate the straight-through processing of end-to-end payments, making them faster and more reliable. They were developed in collaboration with the Private Payments Market Practice Group for use in cross-border payments transactions. These technical requirements will ensure that we are able to grasp opportunities for more efficient cross-border payments afforded by richer and more structured international messaging standards. They are an excellent example of the type of practical impact the G20 program can achieve together with industry to make cross-border payments faster, cheaper, more transparent, easier to access by 2027, said John Cunliffe, the chair of the CPMI and Deputy Governor for Financial Stability at the Bank of England. The increased adoption of ISO 20022 by payment systems around the world is a major opportunity to improve their interoperability, but this opportunity will not be realized if jurisdictions implement the international messaging standard for payments in an inconsistent way. So that's a big thing, is everybody has got to be consistent on this. So market participants are therefore encouraged to begin preparations to align with the harmonized ISO 200.2.2 data requirements in earnest and by the end of 2027 at the latest. So that's like the deadline right there. But we know that even in 2024, there's some great dates to look forward to as far as like even chips. And then we have FedWire going live in 2025. Most likely that's going to be the live date with the cross-border, with the CBDC. So a lot to look forward to, and even 2027. So if you're holding these assets long-term, you have to start thinking about long-term. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe. Check out the latest Token Topics interview of Crypto SENSEI. We talk about a wide range of different topics, such as the new messaging standard. We talk about digital assets, preserving your wealth, and more. Go ahead and check it out. The link's in the description.